Welcome back, everybody. I'm meteorologist Hayden Nix, along with now Miss Kelsey Cowan with the Museum of Discovery. She is here with us to talk about something that's very fun. I've seen this on YouTube. Maybe you haven't tried it yet, but this is the time to do it. We just got done with Halloween. You have way more candy than you should have. Parents might be shaking their head behind the laptop at this point. We're going to show you something that you can really have a lot of fun with. It is making a rainbow out of your candy. Now,
Absolutely.
A couple things just to point out here. Skittles probably preferred with this. We're not trying to do any branding or M&Ms because you want the color assortment, but it's also easier to use those, correct?
Of course, yeah. Now, of course, Skittle is made of sugar. That's this color coating that you have here. But we're going to see what happens when you mix that color coating with water.
Okay.
And what it does. Now, the preference is going to be to use maybe a plate of some kind, preferably white,
okay,
so you can see those colors a lot better as well. So yeah, we just need a few ingredients. So of course we've got our Skittles here.
Okay.
M&Ms should work just fine as well. We also, of course, have a couple of toothpicks. Those will come in handy later, so we won't use those quite yet. And of course we have our water. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to arrange our Skittles, and I'm just going to put them around the rim, but you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
But you don't necessarily want the exact same colors next to each other.
So alternate
the colors a little bit, and yeah, kind of come up with a design. Like I said, I'm just going to go a moon around the edge of our little plate right here.
Okay, so is this something you're going to want to fill up every little nook, or you're spacing yours out a little bit?
I'm going to space mine out a little bit, but you know, you do whatever. Also, if you can, I see you're doing it naturally already. Try to do it the S facing upwards.
S facing upwards.
S
okay,
facing
that's
upwards,
important.
because we might actually do two science lessons at once.
Oh boy!
Potentially. So. But yes, I'm actually going from green to yellow to red to purple right now, so I'm definitely alternating those colors.
Ooh.
But
is that pink? Okay. I didn't know they had a pink in there.
Exactly.
Let's see. Am I missing a color?
So if you happen to got a lot of different colors for Halloween, a lot of different color Skittles, because I know that there's tons. Oh, that looks good. Okay.
I like that.
I'm going to finish mine up.
Yeah, hurry up. What are you doing over there?
We're getting there. Oh, I need to add a blue in there. Purple.
You need more blue in your life.
Let's see here. That's perfect.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. So now that we have all of our Skittles that we'd like to use, now comes the fun part.
Cheers.
Cheers. We're going to pour water, and you want to get it over the Skittle itself.
Okay.
So try to get it over the Skittle itself, and then try not to move the Skittles around. So if we bump the table or anything, we just want to be really careful of that. So try not to bump the table, and we're just going to pour it straight in the middle.
So that's one thing to note at home, is just to be very careful with where you put this experiment, because you're going to make sure the table is steady.
Exactly. Steady table, that is one of the key things about this experiment right here.
Okay, now I see you said all the way up where it's covering it, correct?
That's perfect. Okay. So yeah, I would do a little bit more.
A little bit more. Oh, all right, wow.
All of mine. So something's happening pretty much immediately.
Okay.
So I don't know if you can tell from where you're at, but basically we can see that some of our Skittles are actually slowly dissolving. That color is actually coming off the coating of that little Skittle and actually dissolving into the water. But as you can see, all of mine are
wow, yours is already starting to come together there.
But one thing to note, are the colors mixing? The answer is no. They're actually staying separated right now. And there's a couple of theories as to what's happening. So a couple of different sources. One is called stratification.
Okay.
Basically, it's an idea that basically different water properties, they're not necessarily going to come together. But another idea is just the fact that all of the Skittles are going to have about the same amount of food coloring.
Okay.
And at first, they're not going to mix together. It needs something to help mix together.
Okay.
Which is one where our toothpick could come in handy.
Okay.
I wouldn't use it yet, because hopefully we can actually have those colors kind of come in together a little bit further, almost all the way into the center, and it's going to create a pinwheel, a rainbow colored pinwheel. You can see how cool yours is looking.
I should have put more Skittles in mine. Yours definitely is showing off some color there.
It is, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. And of course, if we actually did the whole rim around it, that would even be more.
Wow.
More colorful. But yeah, you can see they're actually all coming in together very slowly here in the middle. Now, what's going to happen here in a second as well, that S on the top of our Skittles, that we wanted to flip them over so we could actually see that S. it's going to do something after a little bit.
Okay.
That S you might actually see floating on the surface of the water.
Really?
That's because it's not necessarily made of sugar. It's not necessarily made of the same thing. So it's going to float to the top. You might even be able to pick it up with your toothpick as well. And when that happens, basically, it's just paper. I know, when we're eating a Skittle, we are actually eating some paper.
So a little
Don't you
edible
worry.
paper.
It's edible paper.
Okay.
We're all good. You're safe to eat that kind of paper. But you can actually see it float to the surface because it's very buoyant. And of course, still see all those colors. So all of my colors have come together. We've actually created a really cool pinwheel.
I know. I'm going to say mine's done. It's 80% there.
Absolutely. And then, of course, the fun part, if you want to see what all those colors are mixed together, we can take our toothpick and slowly mix it around and see what color that you end up with. Usually it's not going to come out
cool.
very good.
Yeah, it mixes to like a brownish dark color.
I'm not too impressed with mine. If I actually had thought about it a little more, I could have created a nice orange, mixing a lot of yellows and reds together.
I do see in mine here, there was a little bit of, right there. I can see the S was coming off, but
absolutely. Actually, do you see mine
there.
floating right here? So it's kind of half an S right here, but it's floating on the surface of my water. I can kind of pick it up with my toothpick.
And there
it's kind
it
of
is.
invisible now. But yeah, absolutely. You can actually see that paper just rise to the surface.
Now, I have a question that's probably running across the kids' minds at this point. Could you still eat the Skittles?
I wouldn't say they'd be as good when it's been dissolving into the water. But if your parents say it's good, then you go for it.
Go ahead and do it.
But of course, it's great if you do have a lot of extra candy, if you're kind of done with the Halloween candy. This is a great experiment to try and to learn about dissolving Skittles, of course, and kind of colors in a really fun way as well.
Look at that. So that's what's left of the Skittle. There's still a little bit of color on the back end from where it was in contact with the paper plate, but wow, that is really awesome to see how that has come to its final product there.
That outer coating, we're just left with that sugar in the middle. Really.
Hold on.
How is it?
I can still taste it. It's not bad. A little watery.
Not too bad. Not too bad. I'm gonna let you be the one to eat it. I'll look at them.
You don't? Okay, I'll just take your plate then. Well, Kelsey, thank you so much for letting us come up here and see this. This is really awesome. And this is something that's very simple to do. You could get this done in 5 to 10 minutes if you want to do a little at-home science experiment. Maybe go home after school, or if you're at home with the virtual learning, this is a fun way that you can have a little time there to hang out there at the counter with these paper plates, water, and just some assorted candy. Like we said, Skittles, even M&Ms will probably be the best choice here. So, all right, well, thank you, Kelsey, for letting us come by. Don't forget, we have at-home discovery episodes released every Monday at 1 o'clock, so make sure to check back next week for our next episode.